So with that, we will have the MSJC presentation. I believe it's Roger Schultz. There he is.
No, he can't.
You gotta let him through though. We're ready for you.
I have been ready for a while.
Been a long time.
Community and the 15 corridor. I'm Dr. Roger Schultz, Superintendent President of Mount San Jacinto College, and I know I've spoken with several of you throughout the years, and it's a pleasure to be here before you tonight to give you a very brief overview of where we are for a potential I-15 corridor campus. And then I'll touch very briefly on some of the highlights that we've hit in the last year or so. But since some of this is legal and technical, I'll try and go off of a script initially to make sure I don't misstate anything. As you know, we have Measure AA on the ballot in November of 2014 for a $295 million ballot measure for local funding to expand the campus throughout the district. $44 million was earmarked for a campus along the 15 corridor. And we're proceeding down that path for this area because we know this is probably the highest growth area within our district. So we need to serve the area because although Menifee is there, it is going to be built out, and we need to service this area as well. So now on to the technical legal part of it briefly. We have been engaged in some litigation. A ruling by Riverside County Superior Court Judge gave Mount San Jacinto College its second court victory relating to the proposed purchase of 80 acres in Wildomar for a possible future development along the I-15 Southwest Corridor campus. The lawsuit was filed on November 4th, 2014 by residents who sought to invalidate MSJC's purchase and sale agreement with Riverside County Regional Park and Open Space District or to complete an environmental impact report. The lawsuit also claimed that MSJC failed to adopt the procedures required by CEQA. On December 4th, 2015, the Superior Court Judge Raymer ruled in favor of MSJC in the lawsuit filed by the residents who claimed that we did not follow state environmental procedures relating to the proposed purchase and the land off of Clinton Keith Road. Judge Raymer stated that MSJC and the County Regional Park Open Space District did follow the rules established by the California Environmental Quality Act. However, we understand in our board meeting this tomorrow night that I'll be meeting with my board of trustees that the residents have filed an appeal, a notice of appeal regarding Judge Raymer's ruling. So, please bear with me. Some of my comments are going to be very limited because of that. We did hold a scoping meeting back in December. Councilmember Cashman was there, and we issued our notice of participation for the environmental impact report for the I-15 campus. The next step is the EIR process for MSJC to prepare a draft of the EIR and circulate it for public comment. So that's the legal stuff behind me. Now, to be able to share a little bit of the conceptual discussion. This is and I apologize that the group can't see. Maybe I'll leave this behind with you, Gary, so that I'll pick it up later. But thank you. As you know, this is Clinton Heath, and this is a conceptual mock-up of the potential site. This has evolved somewhat from earlier conceptual drawings. The district is very sensitive to some of the comments that we have heard historically from the area, and that it was originally proposed as a park. So we've tried to incorporate and really maximize the utilization of the site with respect to the environment and try and develop some recreational facilities that would be along the right-hand side, and as well as utilizing the waterway there that could be utilized potentially for environmental studies, because this site has been identified as a STEM-related site, science, technology, engineering, and math. So we really wanted to focus on leveraging the strategic assets of the campus site. So you could see that it would progress up towards the hill. The hill would have maybe a hiking trail on it. Again, this is all conceptual if this is the potential site. The site, if successful, would commence with the initial stage closest to Clinton Keith Road. That would be phase one. This would be built out over many decades because we would anticipate this to serve between 10 and 15,000 students eventually in those disciplines that we've talked about, but really be a comprehensive community college that these young people would be able to attend in the future, and probably that timeline for them going to college might be appropriate. So that's pretty much what we're looking at as far as the site. A couple of things, and Councilmember Swanson, I know you heard my presentation last week at Rotary, so I apologize if this is a little bit redundant. I'll only hit some of the highlights.
It was great. I'd love you to tell all these people what you told us.
Okay, well, I'm only going to hit the really high points, but probably the most recent news is just 2 weeks ago, Mount San Jacinto College was named one of the top 150 community colleges in the country. That may not sound like much, but when there's well over 1,100 community colleges to be identified in that tier, and that's the second time in 2 years that we've been identified as such, and it's recognized on quality and student success. And we will be competing to try and get into the top 10 this year. The other thing that's noteworthy is Mount San Jacinto College has been identified by our Chancellor's Office in Sacramento as the fastest growing community college in California. And that will have us growing at 11%. When they first gave us that number last year, I was a little bit shocked because 11% growth in any industry is very difficult to achieve and maintain the quality. I am happy to say with our enrollment report from this week, looks like we're going to hit that 11% growth and continue to maintain that quality. And I think that shows the validation of the need to expand and the wise investment of the voters of the district to invest in a $295 million bond. We talked a little bit about athletics with the kids before. I just want to highlight, for the first time in school history, our women's basketball team is ranked #1 in the state. And most importantly, they're all local girls. Our men who usually, yeah, we have volleyball, ladies, we do have football. And all those will be moving eventually over to the Menifee campus, so it won't be as far away. And I do want to point out that, touch on academics, I shared this the other day. You know, although we're good on the court and the field, our athletes actually have a higher GPA than the native student population. There's new programs constantly emerging. We just recently added an engineering program, so again, that will feed transfer to the UC and the CSU. And I also want to point out that although we are kind of a mid-sized community college with 21,000 students growing rapidly, we're disproportionately higher in transfers to the University of California system. We sent a lot of people to UCLA, a lot of people to Berkeley, San Diego, Davis. We're 33rd on the rankings of the 114 community colleges. So you've got a gem. We enjoy working with you. You've got a great city manager. Gary and I have talked quite a bit over the years, and I hope we can continue to engage in dialogue that will make the vision and the dream a reality in the not too distant future. So I don't know if you have any questions, but.
Any questions? So thank you very much.
Thank you. I hope I can come back.